and gentlemen, welcome to Kingdom of Kodiak. I'm Kodiak. This is episode 39. And with me today is Lord, Squire, Jinkx, Taco Splice, Roadrunner, Abaddon. How are you doing?
I am doing fantastic. How about you?
Well, I can't complain, except for I haven't seen you in 2 years, but
I know.
All right. Well, let's not waste any time. Let's get into the bare necessities. Sorry, Sin. How long have you been playing Amp-Guard?
Let's see. I've been playing Amp-Guard for 6 years now.
Okay. And how long have you been aware of Amp-Guard?
I've only been really aware of Amp-Guard before I actually found Amp-Guard. I actually was in a cosplay group here in Colorado Springs. I was trying to figure out, like, is there a LARPing group nearby? And one person's like, oh, yeah, it's Amp-Guard. You just go to the park and try it out. So before I actually started playing Amp-Guard, it was like 2 months.
Okay. All right. And why did you join Amp-Guard?
Not going to lie. Role models. I saw that movie. I thought that was great. I said, what is this LARPing thing? I want to go try it. And I've been here ever since.
Fantastic. Can you give us some insight to the name? That's a mouthful as far as the persona goes. Where does it all come from?
So when the name Jinkx, and I spell it a little different. I throw a K in there because when I would play role-playing games by like single player by myself, I wasn't paying attention to the name. And I was spelling it wrong all these years and didn't realize it until one day it just clicked to me. I was like, oh, there's no K in here. No, that's fine. But the whole Jinkx, Taco Splice, Roadrunner, Abaddon, Taco Splice is because one of my best friends, his nickname is Brown Sugar Spice. So he gave me the name Taco Splice. Roadrunner because my night when I first started, he would go do go for a chopper or anything, and I like run backwards so he wouldn't hit me, and then run forwards again. And then Abaddon because I'm actually really into demonology, so I actually picked a demon basically to portray that I actually liked out of the rest, and Abaddon was the one that I actually chose.
Fantastic. As a Supernatural fan, I appreciate your last name. Also, very subtle shout out to Conda. Hi, Conda.
Hi, Conda. If he's watching this.
Well, yeah, I mean, who's watching Kingdom of Kodiak? I mean, your knight has given you a shout out, by the way.
Oh, cool. Hi, bro.
What award or achievement would you say you're most proud of receiving?
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I actually have 2 awards that I'm actually very proud of. And actually, it's getting my 4th Order of the Warrior, and also getting I forgot what it's called. It's the award that I got after I completed my term as Imperial Champion. They realized that I was doing a good job, and even though I felt like I did it, they saw that I went up and beyond, and I got an award for that. So I want to say it's Order of the Lion, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
Okay. All right. Well, congratulations for doing a good job then.
Thank you.
Jinkx, what is your favorite battle game?
Ooh, my favorite battle game. Well, it depends on what I feel like playing class-wise that day. So if I am playing, for instance, my favorite class Assassin, then I would like to play battle games that actually have an objective base, like go in, grab something, and get out. If I'm playing a game where both parties have a life pool, I like playing healer because I like going in, putting some chaos in, and then falling back and go, oh, you're dead? Come here, I got you. Get up, go fight.
Fantastic.
So it just depends on what we're doing, how I feel like playing.
Okay, so you couldn't give me a favorite battle game because you got it based around your class. What is your favorite class to play?
My all-time favorite class is actually Assassin. When I first played Amp-Guard, I started Assassin, stuck to Assassin, and that's just my go-to class. It's just what I love playing as.
Okay. The first KOK viewer question connected to the bare necessities for today is from Sir Smiley of the Burning Lands. He would like to know, what is your favorite weapon combo?
My favorite weapon combo? I would say my favorite weapon combo is actually Madu and Short Sword. Because at my park, people forget that a Madu can also stab, so it's fun to go block, 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 stab. All right, next.
Fantastic. All right. Well, those are the bare necessities. Sorry, Sin. Let's let's get to the three questions that we've been asking since the beginning of KOK. These are the viewer-based three priority questions before we get into your topics.
All right.
We have a knight named Sir Glenulf in Dragonspine.
Mm-hmm.
When will he be receiving a toaster and or soda maker?
He hasn't got one yet?
I mean, we've talked about it for almost 9 months now, but we haven't, haven't decided. What do you say? When should he get it?
I mean, I feel like if he's a knight, that should have been his knighting gift to get a toaster or soda maker.
Oh man, Dragonspine, you missed like a decade ago. No, more than a decade. Ooh. All right. Okay. That's not the. I won't ask that. That's a specific question. Next, still would like to know, what are your thoughts on bears?
I actually, bears are dope. My knight actually, his nickname for me is Orikuma, so I'm Demon Bear. So I mean, like basically my belt line, we all have personas of different bears. For example, my man-at-arms, they are they're my son bear. They're my baby bear. That's how I basically call them. So bears are dope. Basically, like I said, in my belt line, we're called the Bear Dad. So
okay, I can't argue with that. Who is your favorite bear?
My favorite bear would have to be my Papa Bear, which is also my knight. Also his wife. She's Mama Bear.
We have competition in other kingdoms. There's a bear thing going on. It's not just Dragonspine.
Okay, good to know.
Would also like to know, being that she is represented by the Sun Bear, why are Sun Bears so great?
Because bears just like, how can I put this in English? Basically, bears are great because, in my opinion, they're just big cats that can actually maul things. Like a bear would just eat and sleep in the sun because he can. Bear also likes to eat. I like to eat. I mean, like, food's delicious. I'm a fat kid at heart, so bears are just great.
It's a good thing you mentioned food, Jinkx, because you have about 2 paragraphs worth of food questions when we get to the end at the funny. Just so you're aware.
Okay, good to know.
Okay. What are your thoughts on Dragonspine getting a mobile jacuzzi and or pool?
Only if I can come. I think it's a good idea, only if I'm invited.
Of course you're invited. Of course you're invited. Would bears be allowed to be in the pool?
Well, I'm being invited, so yes.
Hey, this is one of the first times that we've had that question on there where the person responding was also a bear. So they were like, yes for bears.
Yeah, see?
Fantastic. Well, those are the 3 questions presented by the KOK viewers. And now we'll get to your categories.
Okay.
And Jinkx, let me tell you here, for your categories, we have a lot about you now, and we have a lot about the future of Amtgard and you being in there. Okay. So I went with the 2 titles, Infinity and Beyond.
All right.
To Infinity.
Let's do this.
What is the best way for someone to start fighting?
The best way to someone start fighting, easy. Pick up a stick and just ask someone, "Hey, will you just spar with me?" That's the biggest thing, and honestly, also the scariest thing in my opinion, because especially if you're new, you don't know anyone, you don't know who can I ask basically to just spar with. So even at my park, if I see basically someone sitting around and whatnot, I said, "Hey, do you want to spar? Well, let's be new. Hopefully, break the ice. So if they're interested in the fighting part, hopefully that will blossom into seeing them, reach higher up."
In your opinion, is fighting a good option for someone who's afraid of people? Like they want to Amtgard, but they're kind of nervous around people.
Yes and no. Yes, meaning like it gives you a chance to hopefully meet new people and get out of your shell. No, because of the fact that there are times when people are just have that anxiety where they just can't do it. So they rather just maybe pick up a bow or just do magic or even just do the crafting part of Amtgard. So it honestly depends on your character and how you feel basically with trying to interact with new people basically.
Yeah. I mean, fighting is a big part of amp guard, but
Hmm.
it's not the only reason to do amp guard. If you want
Correct.
to, if you want to lead people, if you want to do art and science, if you really like cooking food or doing other services for volunteer groups or something like that, there's room for that in amp guard. Fighting just happens to be one of the parts. It's a higher percentage, I would think, but not mandated.
Yeah, and I agree with you. It's not something that you have to do, but it's just thing that's a part of it, and you don't have to. If you don't want to be part of the fighting part, that's fine.
Fantastic. Deverick would like to know. You might know Deverick.
Oh yes.
Are you currently in a fighting company? And if you are, what are they all about?
So I am part of a fighting company. I am part of Path of the Dragons. Our biggest thing is the fact that we are here to better ourselves, whether it's fighting, whether it's crafting, or whether it's your personal life, just to better yourself. Also, the biggest thing we actually have is Karai is always big spoon. That's our rules.
Okay. Okay. All right. Uh, Transitioning a little bit to the arts side of the conversation. What is your favorite event to judge? Or what has been your favorite event to judge?
I actually haven't judged any events. I usually the events that the Iron Mountain actually does rack is I'm actually part of the Assassin's Guild, so I actually run the Assassin's game. So I have not been able to judge an ANS competition. I usually like to just watch and see how what others people do and see what the other judges how they do it and how they basically take apart a project that a person did and see like we like how they did this person, but we think that maybe next time work on this side. This should get a little bit higher grade. So I've yet to judge a competition, but one day I'm sure it will happen.
Okay. All right. What ANS entry are you most proud of turning in?
Uh, I think my best ANS entry that I've ever entered in is actually when Grix got his second belt, his Knighting gift. I do spray paint art, and I found out that Grix is really into Call of Cthulhu. So I made a Cthulhu-based painting out of spray paint and stencils that I've done. And the cool thing I actually really liked it is it had Cthulhu sitting on a throne in outer space. And when you turn off the lights, the background actually glowed in the dark. So it didn't show Cthulhu himself, but it actually had silhouette of him in the dark. And that's actually one of my favorites because it's the first time I actually entered my art into an ANS, and I'm actually very proud of it because it was a gift for a night for Iron Mountains.
Wow. If you could ever put that up on the Dragonspine page so that some people could peek at that real quick. And then additionally, since we're on the topic, do you do commission work?
I do.
Okay.
I do commission work. I actually do have a Facebook page dedicated for all my commission stuff. Um, Little self promotion. It's called Manny's Rattle Cans, and that's my Facebook page. And you can see some of the stuff I've done, including some of the awards that I've actually made for Darkmoon and IMD.
Awesome. Fantastic. That's great. Hopefully I can send you some commissions through this process. That'd be awesome. Now, this has been a running conversation, not touched every time, but how do you deal with imposter syndrome?
Ooh, that is a good question. Honestly, the way how I deal with it, because it's happened a few times with me, is I basically go to people that I can actually trust and tell them, hey, look, I'm having this issue, and I don't know how to deal with it. Usually they do the best they can because I'm not all the time. It always helps, but they do the best they can just to basically help me out, make me feel that there's no issue that I actually have. So they help me so I'm not dealing with the dark side of things, and so I'm feeling a bit better. So then I'm in a better state to actually deal with it. So the easiest, and I didn't say the easiest, the best way to actually, in my opinion, actually do it is just reach out and get help. And it could be from your best friend or it could be somebody you actually trust. But it's just the biggest thing is you're not the only one who's dealing with it, and there's people out there who actually will help you.
Right, absolutely. You don't have to do this kind of stuff alone.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, There are going to be your people around you that you trust that are going to be able to go, no, 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 this is not imposter. You're doing it. You're amazing. Yes. It's a fantastic answer, Jinkx. But as far as I know, you've never had a bad answer. Jinkx is the person that introduced the gentleman rule to the circle. For
Yes.
anyone who knows that. Which we may touch on again later, but not for right this moment. We're going to talk about noble titles. What are noble titles good for?
In my opinion, I think noble titles are good for is the people who actually choose to step up and beyond for than just being your average amp guarder. And for example, people who actually choose to step in that leadership position. So if you step in that leader position and you go up and beyond than what, let's say, an average person can do, then that's what I feel a noble title is good for.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What is the coolest noble title?
Oh, I was looking online because I was trying to find a more gender neutral title for something, and I actually found what was called a Dreadlord. I thought that just sounded cool. So, in my opinion, that would be kind of a cool one. That's more of a custom one per se, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a demon-based, Jinkx Avalon, the Dreadlord. That's pretty nasty. Okay. What's the dopest non-title, non-noble title that you've heard?
I honestly don't think I've heard that many non-noble titles. So I actually don't know yet. For now, and I'm pretty sure that someone out there actually has a non-noble title.
Okay, well, I'm gonna pat myself on the back here a little bit, and
All right.
It's Blade Singer, currently held by Devrick. I gave that out, so I'm going to take credit for it. And lastly, when it comes to cool names, the coolest amp guard name that you've seen.
Oh, what was his name? He was actually at my park for a little bit. Oh no, I forgot his name. Oh, I feel bad now. We had a kid at our park before he actually had to move for school. And he just picked like this really cool name, and then just like I like that. I really do. I really wish I would remember what it was. A little bad now.
All right, well, I'll give a shout out then to a Dragon Spine Lost Crucis player, Subspace Spider. You have your shout out.
That's a cool name though.
Yeah, he's a good kid, and it's not a bad name, so whatever. All right, Jinkx, what award would you like to see given out more?
Well, a word that I would like to see it more is, and I know sometimes with especially with officers because they are not able to see everything, is the folks that actually happen to do a little more when they're not in some kind of like officer position. The word that I'm thinking of just it escapes my head at the moment, but I've had a couple of people at my park per se that they've just done a lot of great things for the park, even though that there may not even be in an officer position. If I'm not mistaken, it'd be more or is the lion, at least at what I see on my side, I don't see a whole lot of those.
No, that makes sense. I would agree. Lions, especially since now with the Order of the Crown, we have a definition of what Order of the Lion is. It's leadership outside of office, and we've given it a position now. So yes, absolutely. The chat is suggesting that Snowblight may be the name that you're.
Yes, that's who I'm thinking of. He Snowblight. He actually had a very. I just really like that name because it's something I haven't heard before. I thought it was great.
And then Sir Smiley's actually bringing up Defender of the Black Dragon being a unique title. But,
that's right. We do have Defender titles. That's another one that's not a mobile one. I completely forgot about that. Thank you.
All right. If you right this moment could put any rule into the ROP, what would it be and why?
I honestly don't think I would change the rules at the moment. I haven't really had a thought of, well, this should be as a rule, because most of the rules we have been pretty spot on, in my
Okay.
opinion.
All right. All right. It's a newer question to the KOK audience. They're getting the power to pick whatever they want. So, thinking that everything's fine is obviously a good stance to have. Damon and Bully would like to know, where does your symbol in the picture, your heraldry, come from, and what does it mean to you?
So with mine, because I have it on my cup here, but this actually is an older one. So the one that was posted on the Facebook page, it has a kind of a weird looking mark on it. That is actually my demon mark. So that's my signature. So a lot of my stuff will actually have that in there. So the way I actually chose it is the fact that I am portraying a demon. So the demon is my inner me. I am portraying a demon. That's why there is a Kabuki mask. And I'm a big anime nerd. My favorite anime is Bleach. That's why it's in a triangle. I mean, in the diamond. So that's how I got
it. Nice. No hate for anime nerds. Okay, no hate. Before we started this, I was telling you I was looking for contacts for Naruto. So yeah. No hate. No All hate. Right. This one came out of nowhere, and I'm really excited to see if you can, and how fast you can.
Okay.
How fast can you do the healing can?
Circus based on area the process of learning about how not by post by Chloe was a week by as Hildy. I think I got everything.
5 seconds? Good golly. Yeah, Jinkx, when we're at an event together, you just play healer and you stay around your good old friend Kodiak, because he dies a lot.
Okay, just if you die, just put your sword on top of your head. I'll keep an eye out for that. I will look for that, and I actually will run to you, so we can get you up and back in the battle.
You shouldn't be able to miss me. I am the guy with the orange swords.
You are
roughly the same color.
And you're also very tall, too.
Thank you. I appreciate that. What a compliment. All right. This one isn't necessarily pertaining to Jinkx, more talking about the person portraying Jinkx. Mm-hmm. But there was a lot of questions asked in this topic, and I don't necessarily think it's funny. It could be. But let's talk a little bit about you here. Do you speak, how many languages do you speak?
Let's see here. Fluently, one, but I know bits and pieces of different languages. I know a little bit of Spanish. I actually know a little bit of Russian and a little bit of French. I basically know enough to start a conversation, and then I'm basically screwed, and I can't figure out what to say next.
I mean, that's what life is, right?
Yeah.
Be able to get a conversation started, and then we're screwed after, right? That's okay. Do you travel a lot?
Not really. The most I really travel is when I actually do decide to, is mainly in the same state that I'm currently in. Because I like to go check out different parts of the state. But if it's like for Amp I'd be willing to travel. I've been to New Mexico. I'm willing to travel like other places to go check that stuff out. But I'm not honestly a big person who likes to travel a lot.
Okay. Well, then these next few questions from your fellow Bear Stillhut may be a little bit quick and without a concrete answer. What is your favorite country you've ever been to?
United States.
All right. Fantastic. If you haven't left the country, what country would be your desired favorite?
I actually would love to go visit New Mexico. Not New Mexico. Mexico.
Okay. All right. I mean, there's people in our country that think New Mexico is already part of a different nation. Why not you two? That's fine.
Yeah.
And what country would you like to visit despite the last question? So, Mexico, give us another one.
Probably actually Nepal is actually I would like to go check out.
Okay. All right. Jinkx, that's to infinity. Let's go beyond.
All right.
All right. Favorite kingdom overall?
I would have to say my home kingdom, so the Empire of the Iron Mountains.
Oh, man, I thought someone was going to trip you up there. Man, especially with your night watching, be like, oh, yeah, no, it's It's Winter's Edge. Big fan. Favorite park that you've ever played at?
Favorite park I ever played, I actually would have to say would be Northern Holdfast down at the Brother Mountains. They just have a lot of just a great friendly people there.
Okay. Cool. Sir Smiley would like to know, what is the best event that you've ever been to? Go ahead and say it so we can get back to the circle again. Go ahead.
All right. So I think the best event that I ever went to was the first time I ever went to Clan because of how big it was and, well, the great people that I actually met.
So, first time we ever met, Jinkx and Conda, Order of the Ash members, Deverick and Mags and Locke, Rada, Titus, we all formed the circle. And essentially that just became, hey, I have a bottle of Fireball. Let's pass it around. Oh, also we should make some goofy rules. And
I remember those.
That's when Jinkx brought in the gentleman's rule. Well, not the first circle. We moved the circle back down to the campsite. And then Jinkx gave us the gentleman's rule. Care to explain the gentleman's rule?
If I remember correctly, the gentleman's rule is something that you have to compliment. It's either a compliment thing you do yourself or compliment the person across from you. If I remember correctly, that's what it was.
Right. So before you got to make a rule and take your drink that you were required to and pass the bottle, you must compliment the person across the circle from you. Mm-hmm. And it was, yes, you're having a whole bunch of people who are drinking and whatnot, but to be in a circle of friends and get a compliment, and especially after only knowing Jinkx and Conda and Rada and Titus for like 2 days or a day, like that's big ups right there. So at your next GOTC, viewers of KOK, find your nearest circle. Find your nearest bear. The bears are probably at the circle. Moving on. What do you think is the future of AmpGuard?
I honestly think the future of AmpGuard actually depends on not necessarily like our generation of players, but the next generation. So the ones that are actually behind us that join. Mm-hmm. I think that right now, if we actually keep making the best page stones for them, the future AmpGuard can turn out bright. But we're in that position where we're not only are we being mentors, so basically we have opportunity to shape the new AmpGuarders into something better. But we're also in that spot where we can also shape them where AmpGuard can actually be not the greatest place. Mm-hmm. So if things actually keep going right and we actually keep fighting for what we actually is basically what help AmpGuard be a better place, then AmpGuard can keep growing to be better than it actually is. And hopefully one day when I'm old and I'm 56 years old and I can't really fight, I hope that AmpGuard is still around and I hope it's a lot better than how I left it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, don't leave it. That would be the first good step. This game would suffer without a Jinkx in it. So
that's true.
All right. What is the future of AmpGuard to you or for you? What does your future look like in the game?
My future, well, I hope one day, that's one day, that I actually help touch the lives of other people where they actually inspire to do something better. And that's the biggest thing that I want to help inspire people to do something better. I'm not really here I'm not really here to be here a warlord or become a crown knight or anything like that. I honestly rather have where someone new who doesn't feel comfortable doing something, but they inspire to be better than they were before. That's how I see it.
It's an honorable position to hold. It does lead into the next part of the question, though. You did mention that, it doesn't necessarily matter if you were a warlord or a crown knight or anything like that. Mm-hmm. Should knighthood be a goal?
I don't think it should be a goal, in my opinion, because not everybody wants to become a knight. I am not going to lie. Like, when I first started, I never thought to ever reach knighthood. Now it's just kind of a thought that I have that maybe one day, but I mean, like, it's not really at the end a goal I want to achieve. Like I said, the biggest goal that I have is basically just help inspire people either in fighting or they want to craft better or step in and have that leadership position. That's the biggest thing for me. It's just that goal is
Right.
to inspire.
Okay. All right. Well, I am going to push the line here a little bit. It's not a big deal to you, but we've been asking a lot of the people that have been coming on because you did mention that it started to creep into your mind a little bit. Which one of the four, to start off, not saying that you're limited, but which one of the four is the one that you see yourself obtaining first?
I would probably have to say being a crown knight, because I've actually, since the 6 years that I've been playing Apgard, I've been in office for at least 5 of them. And the 1 year that I basically didn't was the first year that, actually no, the first 6 months I wasn't in office, and then after that I stepped in as champion. So there's one point where I basically just took a break for a little bit and then went into office again.
Okay. All right. Changing the topic a little bit, we're going to put the white belt on you and let you make a decision now. Okay. So find that mindset for me. If we were able, or if we opened Paladin, Anti-Paladin, should we then be able to offer gray phoenixes for people who do not follow a Paladin or Anti-Paladin path?
I think that might be an idea. That's something I've actually never thought of before, but I mean, like, I think it might be an idea because not everyone does follow the Paladin or the Anti-Paladin. They have that little bit of the gray in the middle, per se, the gray Jedi. So that's actually a really good idea to have.
There it is. Yeah. If you did watch last week, I also proposed that if we open them up, fine, do that. But every class has a knighthood paragon status, or not paragon status, but archetype, where knights get a bonus on top of each class. So all classes are playable to all players, but knights still get a perk. And also, yes, Grey Knights is the best knights. We should, yes, absolutely. Last question before we get to the funny ones. And don't worry, folks, the funny ones are going to go for a bit. Sir Smiley would like to know, should you have to serve as the Kingdom Monarch to be eligible for Master Crown or to be a Crown Knight?
I believe you actually should serve as the Kingdom Monarch to get those higher ups, because of the fact that if you're going to sit here and just keep doing Monarch for your local park, I mean, in my opinion, you're not pushing yourself to do something better. And there's always room for improvement for yourself. So if you actually do push yourself and do that the Kingdom level Monarch, then yes. But that's what I actually believe in.
Okay. What would be the minimum of that? So, Kingdom Officer, would you say that Kingdom Officer, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Kingdom Officer, yes.
Would you say any Kingdom Officer, yes or no?
I would say at least do one other Kingdom Officer, and also at least try to do at least becoming the Kingdom Monarch at least once.
Okay. All right. It's interesting because it's becoming more of a topic of, since the Order of the Crown is a year old, and we're going to start seeing some people who are going to be belted or maybe already belted by that process. Are they holding Kingdom Office? Where does that stand in our tier of importance? And then, is Monarch the only Kingdom Office that should matter? That's a great question.
It really is.
All right. The funny questions. And what ends up on KOK becoming the most deep in thought questions. And I'm going to go ahead and start you with a doozy.
All right.
Dragonspine's lore tells us that Lumpy, the elder black dragon, resides in the New Mexico mountains. Where is Lumpy's head?
It's at the end of the mountain.
Oh, you can't name the mountain. Okay, fantastic. Well, Yes, at the end, one of them. We'll figure it out.
Eventually.
This question did sneak into the funny questions because of all of the other questions. So Maybe
right.
not as funny, but we still need to ask. What kind of feasts have you been involved in?
Um, let's see here. I actually remember during one of the years I went down to Clan. They were just shorthanded, and myself, and a few of my friends were just first in lines, and were like, "Well, sorry, it's food's gonna be a little bit. We're shorthanded," and we just went, "All right, let's just help. Let's do it."
Mhm.
So that was actually the first time I actually like been part of helping a feast.
Okay. What about it's a connected question. Your least favorite event to be involved with? You don't have to name names, but was there something that just went awry?
Um, Actually, I don't think I've ever been to an event where I just did not really enjoy it. I think most events that I go to, I try to keep a positive side of things, and I end up enjoying most of them.
Okay. That's a great answer to have. Not going to an event and having a bad time. That's probably a good thing to, 100% batting average on it. All right. Back to some more food questions because KOK viewers, that's the questions Jinkx got for his funny ones. Let's talk about food. What is Whataburger as good as the state of Texas thinks it is?
Okay, so there was one time where I went to go visit my partner at the time, and they lived out of state, and I had to fly from Denver to Texas to Chicago, and I had Whataburger for the first time, and I'm like, all right, I got to see what the rave is about. I honestly don't see what the big deal is about. So I'm sorry, Texas. Whataburger is my thing. Here in Colorado, we have our first In-N-Out burger. I really don't care for it, to be honest. I don't know why some people make a big deal out of it, but hey, if you enjoy it, cool. That's you. That's not me though.
Okay. All right. So if Jinkx had to recommend a burger, where am I going to get that burger?
Well, it depends where you at. Well,
Well,
let's just say that you're here in Colorado.
Yeah,
Springs.
right.
You came down to visit, and we're gonna go get a burger. I personally would say let's go to Drifters. In a way, they're like, in my opinion, they're like In-N-Out, but they're locally owned. So you come down in, and we'll just get a big island burger, or like that. There's like 3 patties in there, cheese, all that good stuff, and we'll go there.
Okay.
If you don't like it, cool, no big deal.
I'm here for it. I once did a day trip to Yuma, which is 8 hours both ways, and stopped at Black Bear. And the only reason is because it's a burger like this. And I'm like, well, I'm going to be up for 28 hours straight. I'm going to have that burger. I'm going to be very happy with my life. But so yes, Drifters, I'm there for it. Upon a visit, that's what will happen. Lady Stillhut needs to know.
All right.
Does Lord Deshima deserve Kalichi's eggnog custard?
Well, can you give me a little information about these people? Because I have not met them yet.
Okay, well, Lady Stillhut and Lord Tajima are married.
Mm-hmm.
Lord Tajima is our kingdom prime minister, and Lady Stillhut is our kingdom regent. They're both wonderful people. I appreciate them both immensely. But Lady Stillhut does request that interviewees decide the fate of Tajima.
Okay, now my next question. Does the other person deserve these eggnog cookies?
Custard. Eggnog custard from Kaliche's, which is an ice cream establishment in this area. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
I have not.
Okay.
Now, do they deserve it?
Right. That's the question.
Okay, so if they've been, good, then sure, yes, they deserve this eggnog custard. And that just sounds delicious. I really want to make some eggnog custard.
Right? Well, see, here's the thing, though, is we're going to get to a point where we're going to have to define what good is. And Stillhut's probably going to vote no on Tajima being good. But at least, Stillhut, as far as Jinkx goes, as long as he's good, go ahead and get him that custard. All right.
Basically.
This is about to begin 2 paragraphs worth of questions, Jinkx. Sir Smiley, in combination with a couple other people, asked you a plethora of food-based questions. What food, if any, do you eat when you are happy and or unhappy?
So when I'm happy, I just eat food. My favorite food are tacos. When I'm unhappy, I actually do that Southern comfort food, but because of the fact that I am Mexican, my Southern comfort food things are like chicken mole, and actually the way how my mom makes how my mother and my grandmother both make their menudo. That's my favorite thing to have. So I fall into stuff like that. Those are the things I like to eat when I'm actually upset. When I'm happy, just put a plate of food in front of me. I'm call it good, but you can't go wrong with tacos. I love me some tacos.
So, in a hypothetical situation, if we went out for tacos and menudo, would you eat both and be okay with that?
Oh yes, I would.
Okay. All right. Because you said menudo and my heart melted because I want a bowl right now.
I do too, but it takes like a day to make.
What is the most expensive meal that you've ever eaten?
Does that consider going out on a date for that
Yeah.
question?
Yeah.
Okay, so
the most that you've ever paid for.
My most expensive meal that I actually ever paid for was there's a place here in where I live that's called the Rabbit Hole, and it's an Alice in Wonderland themed restaurant, and you actually literally go down below underground to the rabbit hole, and that wasn't a very expensive meal. My meal was let's see here, a bison flank with mashed potatoes and gravy and asparagus. That ran me about $65. My girlfriend's, because at the time we weren't together yet, but my girlfriend's dish was a seafood dish, and hers actually was a bit cheaper. Hers was actually about $50. On top of that, I actually, of course, I got a cocktail. I am a whiskey bourbon Scotch drinker, so I got a Mad Hatter. So basically, it's a Manhattan. So I got one of those, and she got a cocktail also. So that total was very expensive. When I was all said and done, it was like $200. That's the most expensive date I've ever been on, but it's okay. It's worth it.
Oh man! So the Mad Hatter, I'm sorry, the Rabbit Hole. Avoid the Rabbit Hole unless you're really in some bison flank.
Basically, yes. Avoid the rabbit hole, but if you have the money, go for it. It was very delicious. The atmosphere was very nice. I like the theme and whatnot, but it's just very pricey.
Sir Smiley would also like to know, when arranging the food on your plate, does everything have to be separate, or is it okay if they touch?
Certain foods are okay to touch. Mainly, I see it as it's going down the same place is okay, but it's mashed potatoes. I don't know what it is. If mashed potatoes touch like peas or corn, it gives it a weird texture, and then I don't understand why.
No, no. Mashed potatoes is the universal. Anything can be put in there. Carrot, corn, peas. I'll tell you what, you take some flavored rice and put it in your mashed potatoes. Mac and cheese can go in it. You mix it with meatloaf straight up and just crush it in. Mashed potatoes is the most diverse food. Diverse.
I'm gonna have to disagree with that one, but everybody has their own palate. Just for me, I don't know why when mashed potatoes touch something, it's a little weird.
All right, I'll tell you what. We'll solve this on the battlefield. 2 out of 3. The winner is correct.
You know what? That's fair. We'll do that.
All right. Maybe the next time we see each other, if the plague ever goes away. Do you have any food quirks?
Let's see. Do I have food quirks? Actually, I kind of do. Like, and just something I've actually noticed a while ago is when food is sent out and they portion it. I actually tend to move my meat, so if the meat's in front of me, to my left hand side, and then I'll eat clockwise. I'll take a few bites of what's on top, in front, the side, the bottom, the meat, and then I just eat like that. And it's something I just noticed that I did, and just kind of stuck, which is kind of, in my opinion, kind of funny.
Are you a left-hand cutter or are you left-hand stabber?
I'm a left-hand cutter, but I'm also ambidextrous. So there's times where I actually will cut, stab with the left hand, cut with my right. Or if I happen to just place my knife for whatever reason on my left side, then I will pick up the knife on my left side, stab with my right, and then cut with my left.
Okay. All right. It's interesting. Now this is Sir Smiley's way to make you understand what a quirk is, but I do want to ask this because it seems like a good question. Are you the kind of person that bites the heads off gummy bears?
Actually, yes, I am. I'm the type of person who likes to play with it first, bites the head, and go, and then finish them.
There you go, Sir Smiley. Yes, he is. Are there any recipes that have been passed down through generations in your family?
Actually, no. There actually hasn't really been a lot of recipes that's been passed on to generation. The biggest thing is my great grandmother. She would make all this awesome food, but she never showed anybody how to do it. So we've been trying to figure out how she does it. We just haven't come close yet.
No, that's fair. The next part of that is friends, and I'm going to give you one. I'm going to give all the KOK viewers one, but I'm going to give it to you the way that I've earned it.
Mm-hmm.
German potato salad. Cook your bacon. Don't cook your potatoes. Sugar and vinegar, mix the liquid or mix those two together to taste. Throw all 4 ingredients together. Cook until you get to a point where the potatoes taste the way you want, and you're done. If you do it in a crock pot, the liquids will disappear. They will all go in the potatoes. Yes. German potato salad.
I'm gonna have to write that down real quick.
Or just rewatch the video. I'm not saying that everyone watch the video, but rewatch the video, guys. It's not a big deal. Sir Smiley would also like to know, have you ever thrown spaghetti against the wall to test for doneness?
No, I have not. That's, in my opinion, that's a little silly to do. I mean, for me, the easiest way to check is a noodle done is literally pick it up, put it in my mouth, and go, is it done? Yes. If not, no. Keep cooking.
Oh man. Well, Sir Smiley, we're gonna keep asking that question because I want to know how many people are throwing spaghetti at walls. But do you have a kitchen habit, something similar to that?
I do have a bit of a kitchen habit. My biggest thing is spices that I use the most when I actually cook stays on the counter. Spices that I don't use the most or very rarely touch will actually stay behind a cabinet. So when I'm actually cooking, my spices are arranged in a certain way where I can literally just pick it up and know exactly what it is and add it to my dish, because I actually make my own spices.
Oh, all right. There you go. Fantastic. Still would like to know, favorite part of a jar of bar mix, and why is it the brown rye chips?
All right, first off, how did Sir Smiley know I like the brown rye chips? I like
those. This is still hat. This is Lady Stillhat, the one that you gave her husband permission to have the eggnog custard. I know there's a lot of S names in KOK, but yeah.
I don't know why I like the brown rye chips. I just do. Another one that I actually like that's in there is, I don't know, it's like the little cheese cracker that's like wiggly shape. I really like those too. I actually like to eat them together because it's almost like putting cheese on top of a cracker and eating it that way.
Okay. This question came from the chat. This is Sacri. You may remember Sacri from the circle. He's the one that licked my leg.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we remember Sacri. All right. Sacri would like to know who would win a fight between John Cena and Toph Bo Fang if Toph's only bending that she could use is the echolocation.
That's going to be a hard one because you can't see John Cena. So I probably still think Toph would win, because if Toph is using echolocation and she's not using any other bending, I mean, she is scrappy. So I still think Toph would win, though.
Yeah, I don't know if John Cena would hit a girl.
Probably not.
Yeah, so Bo Fang, little shin kick, maybe a groin kick, turn it into a knee down DDT, turn him over 1, 2, 3.
I mean, she was called a blind bandit for a reason.
There you go. Last question of the 2 paragraphs. We have more, but last question of the 2 paragraphs.
All right.
Are Oreos cookies?
In my opinion, it's a sandwich cookie.
It's
It's
a
more a
sandwich.
sandwich than a cookie because there is a top, there is a middle, and there is a bottom. It is a
That's right.
sandwich, but in
Mhm.
cookie form.
Mhm. Now, I'm gonna ask this because this one got me a little heat a couple episodes ago. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Now, let me preface this. The hot dog bun is connected at the bottom, and we put that in. And in that form, a hot dog is a taco. But if that connecting piece breaks, that hot dog is now a sandwich.
Actually, I'm gonna have to agree with you that because a taco is basically like this, and you put something in it, like a hot
Yep.
dog. Okay, the
Yep.
moment, like you said, that bottom piece breaks, you can't hold it like that no more because the hot dog's gonna fall out. So you have to turn it sideways, need like a sandwich. So it depends if that little red piece in the middle breaks or not.
Right.
If it breaks, sandwich. If it doesn't, it's a odd taco.
It's a taco. You, ladies and gentlemen, Jinkx said it. A hot dog is a taco when the bread is connected, and a sandwich when it is not.
And you
It is
can
a
fight me
point.
if you're wrong.
It's a point of fact at this point. All right. Still would like to know, dogs or cats?
I mean, did you not see the one I had here? Did you see the tail that I had going right here?
Yeah.
I'm more of a cat person. There is nothing wrong with dogs. I will run up to a dog and rub their belly and whatnot. Nothing wrong with dogs. I just like cats a little more.
I think still asked that question because Shion's dog lives with her and goes by the name of Duke.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just because Shion's dog and Stillhat's dog kind of look the same. And yeah, I was talking to Stillhat one time and I saw what looked like Shion's dog walking in the background. And I'm like, why do you have Shion's dog? Shion's dog, are you okay? Are you safe? And she's like, no, that's my dog, Duke. And I'm like, no, I don't believe that. All right. Stillhat would also like to know, are birds real?
Hmm.
Do you want a little bit of a caveat here?
I've been on TikTok for too long. No, birds are not real. They're
Oh,
just machines.
yeah. Okay. Well, here's the answer. Why she wants the answer. Lord Tajima's heraldry is a bird.
Okay, so it's a feathered machine.
Yep. So
That's perfectly fine.
Tajima's not real. Essentially, he's robotic at best. So now can he have custard if he's robotic? Are we going to risk the mechanical integrity of this robot for custard?
Well, there are robots who actually can eat things and drink things. It just doesn't exactly do how we digest food.
See, now this is where we need Sir Randall and Sir Sane because we need to talk about the difference between a robot, a cyborg, and a mechanized human and get those distinguished because I don't think a robot can have the custard, but I think a cyborg might be able to.
I think you're more correct on that one. A robot, no. A cyborg, yes.
Yeah. Interesting. 2 more questions, Jinkx. Favorite show to stream for background static while working?
I actually will, when I'm usually working on something, it's usually something for like YouTube. I'll watch something on YouTube because I can just put autoplay and keep going. And lately, I've noticed it's been a lot of a YouTube channel called Slapped Ham, and they just show this like paranormal stuff or something that would be considered paranormal. Like they say, so we found this. It's creepy. What do you think? That's basically what they do.
Okay.
And it's just like leave in the background because it's just the way how he pronounces things. Because it's kind of like, hi, welcome to Slap Ham. Well, today we're going to show you some interesting things. Let's begin, shall we? And it's like, I like his voice. I'm just leaving it on.
Okay. Yeah, let's all check out some Slapped Ham. I'm probably going to do that right after this because, it's called Slapped Ham and I've got time.
Yeah.
Caveat to that, what is your favorite anime?
Like right now or just like at all times?
Hold your cup up in all time.
Okay, so all time, I probably have to say Bleach is my all-time favorite. Then I have to probably say Demon Slayer and My Hero Academia. So right now,
Okay.
those are like my top 3.
All right. I can follow those. I'm tracking. I'm with those. I'm there. Bleach isn't as high. All 3 of them aren't as high, but I would definitely watch all 3 for sure. All right. Last question. Do pears grow on trees and can those trees support a partridge?
Pears do grow on trees. and those trees can't support a partridge because a partridge is a little bird, and a pair of trees are actually a very decent size.
Fantastic. This leads us into the last part of the question, Jinkx. How many lines of the 12 days of Christmas can you recite right now on the spot?
A partridge in a pear tree.
Whammy. We did it. We did it. Jinkx, thank you so much. If you could just bear with me, I'll make some announcements to the KOK viewers, and we'll get back to saying our goodbyes.
All right.
For Dragon Spine members, if you're a Dragon Spine member and also watching this video and you haven't done the survey that Kenjin put out, so we can figure out the credits for the new Kapora that will be done before I am out of office. Yes, the Kapora will be done before I get out of office, hopefully. You do that survey. Be a voice. We have a lot of good opinions in there. There's a lot of good pie charts. In about a week and a half, we're going to be taking that data and presenting it to the kingdom so that we can make some sound decisions about what the Kapora is going to look like. Additionally, if you're not doing that survey, or if you've already done that survey, go do the V9 surveys. Currently, I'm giving out 1 credit for doing the surveys, but your voice is heard in the next rendition of our game. Please do that. This weekend, Pegasus Valley is having their mid-reign. This will be following Park Day on Discord. So as we finish up the day, we'll be moving over to Pegasus Valley, give them some attention as they have their mid-reign of their reign. I think it's 55 at this point. I think that's everything I've got thus far. Jinkx, thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Thank you for inviting me. I greatly appreciate it.
I miss you so much, man.
I miss you too.
There's a collective that I need to have in like a circle again, a circle-shaped apparati, maybe possibly passing a bottle of I don't know, Cato's Viking blood or whatever, vampire blood. Sorry. Yeah, man, just miss you. Thank you so much again. And for I am viewers that are watching this, I'm always recruiting for people to come on KOK. So if you are a member of the Iron Mountains, Dragon Spine, any other kingdom, and you for some reason want to talk to me for about an hour on a Wednesday night, reach out. I'm here. I'm here for it. That seems like that's everything for this week. Until next week, which will be episode 40, where Sir Smiley will be coming on for our nightly chat. I'm Kodiak. This has been Kingdom of Kodiak. Goodbye.